Jai Hind friends, today I decided to start a program in which we will discuss some historical events of the day which which I think are important from Indian perspective. See, when in a society or whenever people start debate on a topic or they read something in newspaper, they do not they don't know how it relates to history. Most of the people who are preparing for government exams, they read some of the terms in books, but they don't know their history. So we would try to accumulate all the historical events of the day, like it is 31st of January. So what was happened in past on 31st January and how it relates and how its effect are present as well. So for today, I have two topics. Number one, today is the birth anniversary of the first Paramveer Chakra awardee, Major Somnath Sharma. And second one, today in 1996 there were bombings in Sri Lanka, and I'll discuss how that bombings relates to India as well. So first of all, I want to start with the highest gallantry award recipient, Major Somnath Sharma, was born in 1923, 31st of January, in the present day Himachal Pradesh. He was from a family where most of the people are from army. His father served in army, and his younger brother later served in army and became the 14th Chief of Army Staff. He started serving in Indian Army during the British rule. He also participated in the Second World War. He was influenced by the ideas of Bhagavad Gita, and he also inspired by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The event for which he remembered most was the Battle of Badgam in Kashmir Valley. After independence, the Pakistani invasion in Kashmir started. In October 2020, in October 22, there was a infiltration by the tribals of Pakistani. So, in the response of that, 3 companies of Kumaon Regiment deployed in the Badgam sector of Kashmir Valley. Major Somnath Sharma was in D Company of 4th Kumaon Regiment. On the 3 November, all the 3 regiments were patrolling around the area. Around 2 p.m., out of the 3 companies, only one remained there, and the two were gone from there. The thing is, everything is fine here, so they went from there, and at 2:35, tribals infiltrated from the local households. They started firing upon the D Company, which was led by Major Somnath Sharma. But they were not able to respond to the tribals because there was a chance of losing innocent civilians. So later, in little time, they surrounded from the 3 sides. They surrounded from all the 3 sides, and there was a major danger on the Srinagar city and the airport. So they were highly outnumbered. The ratio of infiltrators and the D Company was 7:1. Like, for the 7 infiltrators, only one is here to defend the post. So they heavily outnumbered, but they never accepted the defeat and fought till their last breath, and they protect their post, and before they before he marched, he sent a message to headquarters. The enemies are only 15 yards from us. We are heavily outnumbered. We are under devastating fire. I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to our last man and our last round. Major Somnath Sharma, Battle of Badgam, 1947. So, because of this unprecedented bravery, Major Somnath Sharma got the highest gallantry award, our highest wartime gallantry award from the Chakra in 1947. So the next one is 1996 bombing. I am not much interested in discussing the bombings. The bombings done by the bombings were done by a secessionist group, LTTE, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam. They were they were fighting for a separate state for the people who speak Tamil language. Why they are fighting for that and how it relates to our former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. As like India, Sri Lanka was also under the British rule and they got freedom in 1948. What was happening till the 1948? The Tamil group, the people who were speaking Tamil, they were in minority and still they are in minority. But in the jobs and all the important posts, whether it is army or all the government job, they were in majority. They are minority in number, but in the job and representation they were in majority. So after independence in 1948, democracy came in Sri Lanka, and in democracy, majority won. So the majority was Sinhalese. People who are speaking Sinhalese, they are around 75%, and the people who are speaking Tamil, they are around 15%, and the Muslims were also who speaking Tamil, they are around 8 to 10% there. Some Christians and other minorities are also there. The Sinhalese are majorly Buddhist, and they speak Sinhali language. So after Sri Lanka got democracy, the persecution of Tamils started. Overnight, they changed the official language and they declared Sinhala language is only official language of Sri Lanka in 1956. All the people, all the Tamils who speak Tamil, they overnight got unemployed. So in that situation, peoples who speak Tamil language, they feel that they felt that this is a discriminatory behavior with them. So from here, a conflict started between Sinhalese and Tamils, and major riots were happened between from 1956 to 1983. During this, many separatist groups emerged in Sri Lanka. One of them was LTTE, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam, who wanted a separate Tamil state in Sri Lanka. They majorly live in the northern part, which is adjacent to India, Dhanushkodi. So they want the northern part of Sri Lanka as a different state for the Tamil speaking peoples. So they were a violent, disciplined group who act like a shadow government in Sri Lanka. So they emerged in 1776 and they they got funding from the diaspora of Tamil speaking peoples who lived in the Singapore and the other countries. So with the time they got more and more violent. They even started attacking the liberal Tamils who don't want a separate state, but they want more powers and more rights within Sri Lanka. So leader of the LTTE was Vellupillai Prabhakaran, It was founded in 1976, and later they started attacking the in 1990. They attacked the then Prime Minister Chandrika, and she lost her one eye in that attack. Later, in 1991, they attacked the Indian head of state, Sri Rajiv Gandhi, and this was a major event and that shocked all over the world. And why they attacked Sri Rajiv Gandhi? Because in the 1984 there there was a peace. In 1987 there was a peace accord signed between India and Sri Lanka, in which Sri Lankan government assured Indian government that we will not persecute the Tamils more, and they amended their constitution, and that is called 13th Amendment, in which they were ready to devolve powers to Tamil, and the Tamil language is also accepted, and they also accepted to keep Indian peacekeeping forces Indian peacekeeping forces in Sri Lanka. So Indian peacekeeping forces deployed in Sri Lanka in 1987, and they started an operation which is called Operation Pavan, in which they expelled all the LTTE extremists in the jungles of Sri Lanka. They removed from the city, and this caused a hit for the India in the LTTE group. So in the 1991, when there was again election in India, then LTT fighters thought that if again Rajiv Gandhi government will come, then they will again deploy the Indian government, because in 1890, when 1989 Rajiv Gandhi government fall, VP Singh government came, and they withdraw all the Indian peacekeeping forces from the Sri Lanka. So they thought that if Rajiv Gandhi come again, then they will again deploy the Indian peacekeeping forces, and it will cause heavy casualties for them. So they attacked Rajiv Gandhi, and one woman came on a stage and put a garland in his neck, and there was a hidden bomb in that, and what happened we will all know. And again in 1993 they killed their president, the Sri Lankan president Rana Singha, in 1993. It was a major event, and after that the 26 of war between the Sri Lankan army and the LTT group started from the 1983, and by this event the Sri Lankan army decided to end this war, and they started some negotiations with the LTT groups. And in 2002, a peace agreement brokered by the Norway between LTT and the Sri Lankan government. But the LTT using these peace agreement as a cutting edge for them to import more and more weapons and fight with more enthusiasm. They were not agree to end this war. They want a separate state, as they demanded in their early times. So later, they never stopped, and they continued to fight against Sri Lankan army. They killed many soldiers. So finally the war was broken in 2005, when they killed the finance minister of Sri Lanka, who himself was a Tamil. He was a liberal Tamil who did not want a separate state. They just want more rights within their Sri Lankan government. So after 2005, the Sri Lankan army was committed to kill all the LTT fighters and end up this war. And finally, in 2009, the war was ended, and the leader of LTT, Prabhakaran, was killed, and all the major leaders of LTT were killed. And in this civil war, around 1 lakh people were killed. Out of them, 5,000 were from army, and other from the civilians and the fighters of LTTE. So this is all about today. We saw that how, like, generally when we heard about the Rajiv Gandhi assassination, I asked too many people, did they know that why they killed them? The people generally don't know. They just know that Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated in a public stage when a woman put a garland in his neck and etc. But they don't know the reason behind it, and the 13th Amendment, which is important for the students who are preparing for the government exam. So this is the history, and the LTTE group. It is an allegation in India that India were also supporting the LTTE group. So later, after the death of Rajiv Gandhi, India also withdrawn its support, and after that, the LTTE group devastated by the Sri Lankan army, properly and completely, and I'm also not favor any type of the separatist group who are waging war against their own nation. And if there is persecution, so they can handle the situation uh, by asking for rights, and not uh, fighting with arms against their own nation, against their own people, and killing their own political leaders. So this is all about today. Thank you very much.